So today we're working with Bella and Ling Ling, and we're helping them reestablish their relationship with each other. So they're two litter mates, and introducing a third dog into the home has disrupted their relationship. So we're using BAT, or behavior adjustment training, to help them reestablish their relationship to stop any disagreements between them. Now, things that we want to pay attention to: if you can, try to take some tension off the leash. There you go. And then follow her around. If she wants to go up on the deck, that's fine, as long as they're not targeting each other. So some goals of this: we want to be looking at their body posture. Look to see how they're doing. See how they're nice and relaxed right now. That's good. They're not targeting each other, and by targeting I mean they're not staring at each other, making eye contact, and then trying to lunge towards each other or staring each other down. Now, careful here. Pull away. Have them come away. See how they're starting to target. Now, that object right there, the flower pot, was obscuring their vision from knowing how close they were to each other, so they were about to be surprised at how close they were. Even this right now, Bella is good because her leash is loose, but she is in more of a staring stance at Ling Ling, so I would encourage Bella to walk away. See if you can walk her over towards... There you go. Good. I like that the leash is still pretty loose. There we go. Perfect. Even better. You can use some voice commands to call her. Say, like, you can call her, make kissy noises to her, whatever you want. There you go. Now encourage Ling Ling to walk away a little bit so she's not just staring at her. Call to her.
Come on, Ling Ling.
There you go.
Come on, Ling Ling.
Good,
there
good.
You go.
And then try to get her to the point where the leash is loose
Nope.
again.
Come on, Ling Ling. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to stay on. Come on.
If you need to, you can, we can put a harness on her or tighten her collar up a little bit.
Harness, Aspen?
Just because we don't want her to get loose. Good. Okay? And then you can just stand still with her. There you go. So we want to be looking for relaxed body posture and keeping the leash nice and loose. Remember, the leash being tense on them can only can make their relationship more tense with each other because of this thing called an opposition reflex. So they're going to try to pull against it, against the pressure. So what we want to do is try to keep the leash loose as much as possible. And remember that while doing this exercise, I'm just going to take a step back so we can see like how far they are from each other. You want to be as hands-off as possible. You can encourage them to walk away from each other.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But overall, you want to be pretty quiet and not pet them or reward them or encourage them to walk towards each other. If they walk towards each other calmly, remember the rule of thumb is that if they're walking in a meandering kind of way, like they're about to go over and get a drink of water or something like that, then that's acceptable for them to walk near each other. If they're pinpointing each other and moving fast in a hurried fashion, then that's them kind of targeting at each other, and you want to teach them to walk away. You essentially want to be hands off so they can then eventually do this without your intervention. There we go. Go ahead and just follow her. That's okay that she's up there. So what I'd like to try to do is keep her walking over towards that tree, and then let's see if we can get her back down so they're at least near each other and they're a little more aware of each other's presence. There you go. So you can keep her. That's fine if you stay there. That's perfectly fine. See how she's targeting?
Big time.
Yep. So help her walk away, especially now that you have the harness on her.
Oh, help Ling.
Yep. There we go. Okay. Okay, loosen the leash up. Because if she's not pulling, remember, you don't want to do more than you have to. If she can stand there,
Mom,
that's fine.
she knows the fence is there.
Oh, yeah, we do have an underground fence.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. My apologies. So that's probably why she was a little anxious about going over that direction.
Yep.
Okay.
They don't go this side too far.
Okay, then just let her stay about where she is. Try to see if you can get her to stand with the leash loose. There you go. Now loosen it. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So see if you can get her from not being behind all those objects, because then they can't, if she gets too close, they're all of a sudden very close, but they haven't visually seen how close that they are to each other.
I gotcha.
So it's more of a surprise. There we go. That's good. Stay there. So what I like is that Ling Ling is sitting, which indicates that she's more comfortable, because if she were to be uncomfortable, she has to use extra movement to be able to get up out of the sit to protect herself. And then Bella was not targeting her that time. She was standing nice and relaxed. Her body posture was relaxed. Try to get Bella to come at least a little further over. There you go. There. But do you see the difference in her body posture? She is not staring her down to the same degree that she was just a little bit ago. So what we want to do is just stand here. Remember I told you you might get bored? We don't want to rush the process, because then they'll get too uncomfortable. Now watch both of their behavior. If one of them starts to get more uncomfortable, Ling Ling looks pretty relaxed. But if Bella were to start to get nervous, then you can have Bella walk away. It's usually better to have the dog that's starting to target the other dog be the one to walk away, because if the one they're staring down walks away, they think that staring down is intimidating and working still. So the dog that's actually being on their bad behavior, so to say, like targeting and trying to intimidate the other dog, that's the one that should walk away.
Okay.
But this is good. Do you see how both leashes are loose? They're nice and relaxed. Good. And the goal is for them to actually, go ahead and follow Ling Ling a little bit. The goal is for them to be walking towards each other, not having you guys walk them towards each other. So this is a game of patience in letting the dogs direct how quickly they can be around each other while they feel comfortable. Would they typically be able to be this close to each other off leash without you worrying that they would?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, not of late anyway.
So I do want to just mention, because on camera it could be kind of hard to tell the difference. So Ling Ling is looking over at Bella to kind of read her body language. So she's watching her, but she's not targeting. She doesn't have that same intense stare as what we saw before when Bella was doing it. And Bella does keep checking in, but she's not doing as much of the stare type of behavior. She's starting to do it a little more right now. But I just wanted to point that out, that looking at each other doesn't mean that they're being bad. They still have to be able to see each other to see what the other is doing and look at their body posture, look at how they're communicating with each other. But looking at each other is different than that stare down of like that freeze of their body and then dead like eye contact that's staring. Good. So it's good that Bella's comfortable enough to turn around, look over at the kids, because that also indicates that she's starting to feel more and more comfortable with Ling Ling out here, and she's not targeting her so much. Leash is staying nice and loose. Ling Ling is laying down. I'm just going to move over here so I can get them both on camera still. This is good. Do you see the difference in Bella's behavior? How she's much more relaxed now. And as another little tip that I want to mention on camera is dogs build up habits. So the more times they practice kind of getting into disagreements with each other, the quicker they're going to be doing that over and over again. So part of what we're doing here is also breaking that habit. So they're starting to learn to get comfortable around each other while they're safe, because they're both on leashes and you're here to supervise them. You're helping them learn how to relax around each other again, because now they've built up this bad habit over the past couple of weeks or months of kind of disagreeing with each other, and it's gotten worse and worse. So now we're teaching them to undo that type of behavior. All right, so I'm going to wrap up with the camera component, but what the guardians will want to do and what we'll continue to do off camera is to hang out with them and let the dogs initiate how close they're going to get. If this is as close as the dogs want to get today, that's fine. This is something that should be done over the course of several days to weeks to months, however long the dogs need to do this before they're fully comfortable and you can start doing this off leash. Remember, as another tip to have on camera, that things will change when you're inside. So if they get really close to each other outside, it doesn't mean they're ready to get at that same proximity and distance from each other inside, that it's a whole different dynamic shift from going inside to outside. So always end on a good note. It would be better to end and have them somewhat close to each other and have it end in a good way than to try to over push it all in one time period and have them get into a disagreement and then have to work back out of that. So always remember to end on a good note when the dogs are nice and comfortable and around each other. And as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to each other, which is awesome. All right.